Hi everybody, Julie Quinn here, and here's a basic video on how to set up a quiz in your Canvas course. They're super easy to do. So if you have your module set up, this is the best place to do them. You can go into the module itself and click on the plus sign. And what you're going to do is you're going to add an assignment, but the assignment's actually a quiz. So you choose the quiz title. Build it from scratch, that's what this video is about. So we'll choose new quiz, and we will call this Week 1 quiz. Just, you could call it calculus quiz, whatever you need to. So now the shell of the quiz is created. And remember, your students won't be able to see it until you go in and actually edit it, or not edit it, excuse me, if you go in and toggle this to publish. So let's go in and edit it. I click on the title. This is the basic setup so far, but we can modify that once we have questions. So we'll click on edit. Week 1 quiz, you can give directions. This is a 20-minute multiple choice quiz. Whatever directions you want to give. Again, you can attach handouts, videos, images, audio files, whatever you want to put in here, you can as part of the directions. Quiz type is a graded quiz. You could also do like a Likert survey if you wanted to. You can even do practice, so that won't fold into the final. So you have options for graded and ungraded surveys and quizzes. Let's make this a graded quiz. Now, for quiz integrity, shuffle the answers. So for question 1, the answer may be C for one student, but A for another. You can also time limit your students and give them those 20 minutes that you promised. You can choose to let students see their quiz responses or not, to let them see the correct answers. I wouldn't, because if this is a take-home quiz, you don't want them to be sitting with their laptop side by side at Starbucks and sharing those answers. But I wouldn't show one question at a time. Sometimes when students have to click from one screen to the next, depending on their internet connection, that could be tricky. So I would just have everything on one page. You could require an access code. And you may want to filter IP addresses. That's above my pay grade as far as why I would want to do that. But anyhow, you can assign it to everybody. You can give it due dates, and you can make it available. So let's just save it. And those are our options that are set. Once your quiz has been set, let's go back into the modules for a second. Once you've given it the options, now you can load it with questions. You didn't even actually have to save it quite yet, but here's where we were at the beginning. We edited the options, also called the details. Now we add the questions. Again, ignore mastery paths. Don't worry about that. That's more K-12. But for us, let's go ahead and add our questions. So you can find questions from test banks that you've uploaded. You can provide question groups or new questions. So multiple choice is the first option, but you've got true, false, fill in the blank, multiple blanks, multiple answers, essay, formula, and numerical, all sorts of different options. But we could add multiple choice here. We'll say which football team will win the 2020 Super Bowl. You'll notice that we already chose the answers to be mixed. So it doesn't matter which one you put here in the correct answer and poll position. It will mix up for each student. So you can say the Broncos, you can say the Pats, you can say the Dolphins, and the Jets. You can even, add more questions if you want to. You can add comments for correct answers, for incorrect answers, or general comments. I wouldn't do any of that unless it's a practice test. And now we just update the question. So that's all there is to it. Let's add one more. New question. Let's try maybe a true, false. So let's see. The first American poet was a woman. The first acknowledged American poet, right? The answer is true, right? And it was Anne Bradstreet for the first acknowledged published American poet. Actually, it's probably what we would want to say there, right? So let's go back to true, false. The first So yes, the answer is true. And if the answer was false, all you have to do is toggle down, but the answer is true, and it's Anne Bradstreet. It's that easy to create those questions. You'll notice that the default is 1 point. If you want to go in and edit, you just hover over here to the right-hand side, and you can make it worth ½ a point. Think about how much does this quiz calculate in total to your assignments, and then what you want to do is, so say this quiz is worth 1 point total. You have 10 quizzes, they're 10% of the entire grade, so each one's worth 1%. And then if you have 10 questions into those quizzes, they're worth 0.1%. The one quick thing that I forgot to do was once I changed it to ½ a point, I forgot to click update question. Now you see it's 1.5. So yes, you can do fractional points on these as well. If you've used some practice questions that you want to find for this test, you can find questions and then you can find them through, you see in this class, the only 2 I have set up are right here. So that really is not going to apply. But that's how you do it. Once you're done, you click save. Remember, students can't see this quiz yet. So in your modules, all you have to do, see week 1 quiz, you publish it. Once you publish it, you can take it. And what's nice is that you can take it as your student identity to try it out. You can even preview it as a faculty member. So we can just click on preview. Remember I said for everything to be on 1 page. My original order was Broncos, Pats, Dolphins, Jets. You see how that got mixed up? So the Jets, and let's see, submit quiz. This is a preview of the draft version of the quiz, and this answer was incorrect. So I can go back and mess with the settings to say we don't want to see, or it's incorrect, so they know that they got ½ a point out of 1, but it doesn't tell them which answer was correct. It just tells them which one they chose. So that's how you set up quizzes. If you want help with loading test banks or reusing questions, just let me know.